1 week from now, we're going to be having more gun control. GUNMAGEDON 2022, I'm calling it. Hello everyone, we have some great news regarding the concealed carry requirements good cause from New York State Rifle and Pistol Association versus Bruen. By now, many of you may know that this rule of good cause in the state of New York was ruled unconstitutional by the Supreme Court. This is going to have big impacts for people in states like California, New Jersey, New York that may issue concealed carry permit schemes. Many of you may know that 25 states are already constitutional carry and many other states are shall issue, meaning that if someone completes all the requirements and can legally own a firearm and can legally entertain and exercise their constitutional rights or their rights that are acknowledged by the Constitution doesn't give you those rights, you can conceal carry a firearm. States like California, states like New York put a good cause requirement that basically make it so that normal, law-abiding, good people cannot conceal carry a firearm because you're just not worthy of that right in the state's mind. We got a lot going on, a lot to talk about, and we're going to be talking about how the state of California and likely many other states are already planning to further infringe upon your rights. If you're wondering why I'm wearing a tank top, it's because it's incredibly hot here. I don't have AC, and this is a new tank top from the merch store, link down in the description. Before we get into it, I really want to leave a link and make you aware of the New York State Rifle and Pistol Association frequently asked questions page that the firearms policy put together. It's great. It's excellent. It covers a lot. Some big takeaways are this. No, this decision does not mean that in all 50 states constitutional carry is the law. Does not mean that. What this does mean is that states where to get a CCW you had to prove good cause, they can no longer actually require that good cause. Permit fees, training, other requirements, those are still on the table. However, the Supreme Court did go as far as to say that they can't eliminate that right through excessive burden by fees and other requirements that would restrict it. They did leave somewhat open, and we'll talk about this in a little bit, where sensitive areas can still be restricted from the carrying of firearms. But I really do want to have a link down to this in the description so that you can read this for yourself because it puts it way better than I could. The big thing that I want to talk about is this. Now, this is an article from the LA Times regarding the SCOTUS ruling and how the California leaders, including Gavin Newsom, Robert Bonta, and many of the other lizard people, are already attempting to work around these restrictions that the Supreme Court has put on the government. Because again, the Constitution does not give you the right. The Constitution does not give you any rights at all. It is just an acknowledgement. The Bill of Rights is just an acknowledgement of rights that already exist. So your right to bear arms exists all the time, regardless of whether or not the government says this is illegal. So Attorney General Rob Bonta on Thursday pledged to work with the government and lawmakers to pass new gun control legislations to keep Californians safe. Because Lord forbid any normal person be able to reasonably protect themselves with normal firearms. If you're a criminal, we'll let you out. We'll let you out on $0 bail. Feel free to go commit some more follow home robberies. All good. While this decision is no doubt a setback for the safety of Americans, it also affirmed the rights that states maintain to protect our people. It leaves us with options to protect our families, and we intend to use those options. They are looking at this as affirmation that they can restrict your rights in certain ways. Interesting way to look at it. Bonta said a state requirement for gun owners to provide good cause to obtain a license to conceal carry weapons is likely unconstitutional under the Supreme Court ruling, but he reminds Californians that carrying a loaded firearm in most public places is still generally prohibited without a license issued by local law enforcement. This is correct. In the state of California, you're still going to need a concealed carry weapons permit if you want to legally conceal carry a firearm in public. Open carry is generally banned. There are some exceptions here and there. I wouldn't rely on those exceptions. I would pretty much understand that if you're going to carry a gun unlawfully, you do that at your own risk. That being said, free men don't ask permission. Requirements to obtain a license, such as a background check, a firearm safety course, and proof of residency, employment, or business in a local area remain in effect. So all the other requirements, including in some jurisdictions, they require psych evaluations, which can only occur at certain designated facilities at certain times and are very cost prohibitive. Those are still potentially on the table. So expect that to be the norm in areas like Santa Clara. Just my thoughts. State leaders for weeks have been considering ways to respond in anticipation of this case, which is interesting because they've been planning ahead. They knew that the smackdown was coming and they were just waiting. They've got their guns ready to go, so to speak, for the response to this. Now, the Supreme Court held in its 6-3 ruling Thursday that the New York law violated the 2nd and 14th Amendments, requiring people to demonstrate a special need for self-protection. It prevents law-abiding citizens with ordinary self-defense needs from exercising their right to keep and bear arms. And this they have a problem with. You're a normal person, you don't want to die, you want adequate means to protect yourself, you're a terrible person. Go directly to jail. Do not pass go, do not collect $200. California lawmakers plan to amend and pass Senate Bill 918. Yep, they're going to gut and amend another bill. They are going to try to weasel their way into an existing bill to further specify the places weapons cannot be carried and clarify qualifications for obtaining a license. I'm expecting, here's just my thoughts, I have no insider knowledge. I'm expecting increased requirements for training, increased cost of fees, increased requirements or mandated requirements for psych evaluations. Currently, psych evaluations are a requirement that the county sheriff may require. So some counties require you to go to a specific licensed psychiatrist or psychologist. I don't know what it is specifically. I should probably know. My wife's a psychologist or a therapist. Words are hard sometimes. So they're going to require you, in my opinion, they're likely going to require people to do psych evaluations. And now this might sound like a good idea to some people, but these psych evaluations are basically like, have you ever applied for a job and they're like, if you're in traffic, would you A, ram the person in front of you, or B, be calm and patient? These questions are ridiculous, and anyone with a pulse can pass them, even if they're a bad person. And again, bad people are going to break the law regardless, meaning that good people are forced to either comply or die. So in California, we're going to make it clear that an assessment of dangerousness is an essential element of the concealed carry application. Good moral character, I believe, is the requirements that they have in there currently. Good moral character. Now, who determines that? The county sheriff. Is it the county sheriffs that have had rampant violations of your rights for the last several decades? They're going to be the ones that determine good moral character? Lovely. Love that. The assessment is going to be robust, including looking at arrest, convictions, restraining orders, and this is the most concerning part, and other publicly available information. Does this mean potentially your social media posts? Let's say you posted a meme that was a little too spicy. Are they going to restrict your rights? Maybe. It seems like that's what they're saying. They could potentially go down that route. And other publicly available information that might suggest that a person poses a danger to themselves or others. In a world where people can be canceled and in some countries arrested for what they post on social media, I would not take it out of the equation to assume that what they mean by this is they would look at your social media if it's public and determine whether or not you can carry a gun, because maybe your memes were a little bit too spicy the last weekend. While this reckless decision erases a common sense gun safety law that existed for decades, California anticipated this moment, Newsom said. Our state will continue to lead the fight and keep our people safe. Interestingly enough, Los Angeles County Sheriff Alex Villanueva has been recognizing the rights of the people to keep and bear arms and changed his initial stance. When he first came into office and was first running for office, he was very much against concealed carry. He was not a fan of it. And then, as everything went to shit in 2020, he started issuing more permits and said he was going to issue more permits. Many people, myself included, believe this was a political stunt to get back at the local leadership. But again, it seems as if he's currently issuing. I have heard more rumblings lately of some people getting denied for reasons that got other people approved. We will see how this pans out in the future, but it seems as of right now, the sheriff recognizes the threats to the residents have increased and has responded accordingly. And what he means by that is they've issued more concealed carry weapons permits. Now, SB 1327, this is the one that we've talked about in the past. This is the one that's going to be using the Texas-style abortion ban to target people who are manufacturing assault weapon and ghost gun kits. What this exactly means, we don't exactly know. It's kind of dangerous. In addition to that, they're also going to be allowing people to sue and file lawsuits against gun industry members if they were allegedly irresponsible, reckless, and negligent in the sale and marketing of their products and if they violated state firearms laws. So, If your marketing made a gun seem a little too cool and someone bought it and then did something bad with it, they could be responsible. Now, again, let's not pretend like they were just quick to respond to this. These are things that they've been drafting and working on for weeks now to ban and take away more rights. They were chomping at the bit. They were ready to go. So the second this went live, they're going to be pushing bills. Newsom said he would sign a series of gun safety bills that he expects the legislature to send to his desk next week. 1 week from now, we're going to be having more gun control. GUNMAGEDON 2022, I'm calling it. Let me know what you guys think down below. You guys know the drill. Have fun, be safe, stay dangerous. Peace.